Hey everyone, I haven't done one of these videos for a while. Sorry about the shakiness. We're heading to the kitchen. And it was inspired because, you know, today's 36 and one of Australia's national foods is beetroot. However, when you have a nationwide shortage of beetroot and all you can find is a tiny little jar for $3.50, you have to then look and say, okay, maybe I can do my own. So from the recipe I've got, you just need beetroots, you cook them up, and then you make your pickle, and then you put them into your jars. So let's give it a go. Before we start with any of this, we actually have to sterilise our jars. So I worked out that for the number of beetroots that I have, I probably need to sterilise 2 jars. And just like magic, the lids are off. So we're going to place the lid and the jar in. So that's going to come up to a boil. We need to boil it for 10 minutes or so, get them sterile. This one, we need to cook the beetroots for 10 minutes. I've got the beetroots. It says it wants it to be cured for about a month after picking. These are just supermarket ones, so I don't know how long it's going to take, but these have been, you can see they're thoroughly wilted. So they've been out of the supermarket for about a week. So it says just cut off the greens. You can tell I'm not a chef, but you know, neither is most people. And if ordinary people can do stuff in the home, then why not? Might not be enough water. The recipe that I found on WikiHow says that the beetroots just need to be covered. So they look appropriately covered. Now we bring them to the boil and boil them for about 10 minutes. While we've got the things on to boil, I thought I might get the pickling sauce ready. So the recipe on WikiHow was for 10 large beetroots. So I've only got 4, so I'm going to do a half mixture of the pickling juice, and if I've got some over, but then I've got some over. So we start with half a cup of water. Half a cup of water. 1 cup of white wine vinegar. And I'm using a good Australian white wine vinegar. You know what this bottle holds? Exactly a cup. Now we want half a cup of white sugar. We need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. A 1/2 teaspoon of celery seeds. Now, I've asked the internet very kindly to give me a substitute for celery seeds, and it's given me caraway seeds. So I'm hoping this will actually give them, I think that'll give it a nice flavour. A half a teaspoon of dried mustard. Can you tell I don't use a lot of dried mustard in the house, so I actually have to go and buy some. Half a teaspoon of dried mustard. Alright. So that is the pickling sauce ready to go on the heat. Now we just wait for the beetroots to cook. These are thoroughly boiled. There's only so many things you can do with one hand. And you know, those canning experts, they make it look so easy. These guys have had about 10 minutes. And apparently how you tell that they're cooked, and I imagine it's probably a bit like checking a potato, that you stick a knife into it. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So we take these out. This is the pickle that we prepared earlier, so it has to go on and brought to the boil. Watch pot never cooks, Wendy. Come on. And so while we're doing this, we can peel the beetroots. So I'm going to do a little bit like a boiled egg. You put a boiled egg in cold water straight after it's boiled, and the skin just comes straight off. And in the time it took me to peel the beetroots, the pickling sauce has come to a boil, and now we just have to simmer for 2 minutes. So now all we have to do is slice them. Two beetroots to a mason jar, I think, is all it will take. And it says leave about 1 centimetre from the top. Alright, so now pour our pickling solution over the top. And I did say that I made extra. On you go. That's really hot. So it's all in, and these buttons here, they've got a bit of a roundness to it. They will pop in if it's preserved properly, and these will be ready to eat in about a week. So it's now been a week. I'm going to open it up. If I can open it. Notice how the middle's all sunk in. So, oh dear Lord, I've preserved this far too well. Be back in a second. Okay, I've already pre-popped it because it took me like 10 minutes to try and get it undone. So let's have a look and see what the beetroot's like. I'll just grab a fork. And it looks delicious. So a few bits with my salad tonight. And we're right to go. I forgot to show you how nice it was. So let me just take some from the jar. I've actually had my dinner and it was just delicious. So that's just proof I didn't poison myself. You can really taste the beetroot and there's a hint of the caraway ice. It's certainly not overpowering and it adds just a beautiful flavour to it. I'm going to be making my beetroot from now on. So proof's in the pudding. I'll put the recipe for this down in the description. Absolutely delicious. I am never going to buy beetroot again, national shortage of beetroot or not. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.